Hey, Tommy from Indie Tommy Tips. Today's tip is the restoration of a laminate table and chairs that we got for $60. We invested about $40 in materials and about 20 hours labor, and we turned it into a $450 sale. What do you plan to do with this top?
Take all this off and do like a dark walnut on top.
When you say take it off, what do you mean take it off?
Sand this all down, make it smooth, stain it, polyurethane it.
Now, is this a laminate top or is it real wood all the way through?
Oh, it feels like it.
It's a laminate because it's a different grain, as you can see. The grain's going this way, and then this is going this way. So you can only sand so much.
Right.
Maybe about a 32nd of an inch. If you go beyond that, you're going to damage it. Obviously, we're going to sand this outside. The wind is going this way, so we're going to stand on this side. We're going to wear a mask. Looking at the scratches on here, we're debating whether or not if we should use an 80 grit or a 120. 80 might be just a little bit too much. 120 might take a little bit longer, but at least it won't bite into the wood and go through the laminates. Let's try. Definitely want to use good sandpaper, like 3M sandpaper, because it stands the test of time. It holds up. Okay, so we're using denatured alcohol, 99%. And we're attempting to remove some of the debris and dirt before we start sanding. Some of it's gooey, and we don't want the goo caught in the sanding pads and gum it up. We want to start sanding this. We don't want to sand in a hot sun because the vibration and the resistance and the heat will start to melt the polymers that were on there. So let's get going. We don't want it too hot. Hey, this way. What? You want to be upwind. Let's get the air gun. Oh, my old car's getting dirty. And it clogs it up. What do you have on there? What grit?
An 80.
80, okay. So you want to make sure that you don't hit this area again because...
Just taking off the top layer.
Upwind, but it's hard at times. So at least she's wearing an N95 mask. That'll happen. Gotta tie it in a knot.
I hate masks.
Well, masks protect you from brain damage and breathing the dust in. Okay, now, what's next? We got this half done. We're going to start sanding the sides. Tie it in a knot so it doesn't undo.
Okay.
Very nice. So what have we accomplished so far? You've been working on this for like what, maybe an hour?
Got off all the wire, now I'm going to smooth it out. divots.
And you're changing your paper to 220 grit.
Yep.
So you want from 120 to 220. The higher the number is the smaller the grain. Definitely want to use good sandpaper, like 3M sandpaper. So are you going to go long ways now? Rather than doing in section, you're going to do entire strokes across.
Yeah.
Entire strokes.
So it's even.
Right? Because you don't want to create divots. So behind you. Learn this in auto body class. Keep the cord behind you so it doesn't get caught and hang you up. So we're going to stain that, and the black area underneath, we're going to keep that black, but we will rough it up probably with like a 220 and sand that by hand, just so that the black spray paint adheres to it. You got these labeled different grits. 320. Here's the 320. So the 320 is your final sand. Going long ways, one complete run. It's really smooth. Nothing like your bare hands to feel if there's deviations. I was at Sherwin-Williams the other day and they were telling me about something called the water test. You get a drop of water, and if it penetrates the wood, it'll hold the stain. If it kind of rolls off, you have to use another solvent cleaner so it actually penetrates. Don't forget to get in there and sand that with your folded up sandpaper. I'm going to use this, and water is really great for breaking down stains. I want to make sure I don't hit this edge and damage that. I'm doing it kind of on an angle. I hate to go against the grain, but sometimes you do. You can always straighten it out. Sometimes you gotta go against it to break it away. Wiping this or no?
Not yet. I just want to see what it looks like. Darker on the top. Stain. Oh, Jocko bean.
Windy. So a foam brush is less likely to put bubbles on the surface. We're wiping it down with a tack cloth. We would normally do this outside like we did the obviously the sanding and the staining, but best results are probably about 70 degrees and not humidity at 100%. This is what it was about 5 minutes ago. So we're gonna coat this thing. What are you coating it with? Rust-Oleum what?
Water-based polyurethane.
We found out that water-based urethane dries faster than the oil-based polyurethane. When urethane dries quicker, it's less likely to pick up dust and other debris. How many coats are you going to put on this?
One coat will be equivalent to 3 coats, but for a kitchen table, even with that, I'm gonna probably do 1 or 2 more depending on what it looks like when it dries.
So you're keeping a wet edge
Yep.
from top to bottom. And once an area sets up, you don't want to bring your brush in here again because you could pull brush lines. So you're that good that you don't have a drip cloth at the bottom.
I do on the other side.
So there's no center leaf in this table.
No.
Somebody's going to be very fortunate to get this very beautiful restored table. And it has black legs. They were recently painted, sanded and repainted. You're going to get these drips. I remember when we first cleaned this table, there was all this green stuff in that groove, food and stuff. Here's the table in the morning, and it needs another coat. It's a little rough. We're going to put another coat of clear on it, and after that, when that dries, we'll wet sand it, probably with 400, and go from there. Hey, thanks for watching the restoration of the table. Using this link, see part 2 of this video where we fixed the chair that was broken. We drilled some holes, added some glue, added some screws, bound it together. We primed it and painted it, and you'll see the results. Okay, here's one more spin. We're doing it in slow-mo. I'm Tommy from Indie Tommy Tips. Thanks for watching.